or not to be? That is the question.
When she arrives today, I suppose you'll expect to find a lot of unsophisticated children.
I have a free soul. Older people never learn seriously. I should think it would be quite obvious that young artists can never have a real childhood.
Bonjour, Marion.
Bonjour, John. Comment ça va? Marion, darling, have you seen my babies? Aren't they sweet? Cynthia, you know there's a strict prohibition about taking the James women's flowers. But they begged to be cut. They called out as I passed, cut me, please. So I cut them.
It's vulgar to restrict nature, but of course the being a woman is vulgar. What do you think they'll be like when she comes?
Tired, tormented, but terrific.
Any word yet? Has Mr. Bach heard from her?
Mr. Boss hasn't come in yet this morning. I don't know.
Oh dear, the little ones are with us.
I don't know why Mr. Boss lets you come to school here.
The theater always needs a bit players, you know.
Morning, everybody. Is he here yet? When am I going to meet her, huh? Children, dear, modulate your voices. It's so early. Curtis Mason has not arrived yet.
I don't see why anybody should be so excited about being Mason. She's simply one of us, another artist.
But she's famous. We'll all be famous
Are you crazy? You don't know who might have been loose up there.
But Bill, what do you want me to do? Just sit in my room and try to imagine the characters? I don't like it that way.
Have you taken anything for that cold?
Bill, will you please release Janet so she can rehearse?
Rehearse? Look at her. She's practically sick.
Remove the artist's suffering and remove his stimulus.
Come on. I've got some stuff in my laundry to take.
But Janet can't go. She has my best line.
She could have double pneumonia for all you care. You think it's good training for Camille or something like that. You and your art ideas.
And he wants to be a painter. There isn't a shred of temperament in him.
You'd better keep an eye on Janet. She hasn't been here long enough to be secured Mr. Bob's principal.
Good morning, each.
Good morning, Mr. Bob. Good morning, Mr. Bob. Has she come yet? Will we be here right away?
Will we do a performance of my play for her, Mr. Bob?
Pause, please. You will address me individually for questions, but not now. Miss Mason will arrive in 1/2 hour, approximately 30 minutes. Halt! This excitement is unprofessional. We will go on as though nothing were about to take place. Rehearse Mr. Voorhees' play. I forbid you to think of Antony and Cleopatra until Miss Mason arrives. Then we will all begin at once, hand in hand, fellow artists together.
That was my death.
Do not have feelings. Do what you are told. Now I will floss my...
You heard what he said. Do as you are told. Places. And this time, give it all. All right.
I am. Well, pardon me? I'm trying to get some information on Principal President.
We're expecting her any minute. Are you from the press?
Why, no. No, I'm not. This is the Academy, though. The Academy of Dramatic and Allied Art?
Yes. Did you wish to enroll?
Oh, look now. I'm a little too old for that.
Not at all. We do not discriminate against maturity. What did you want? I can't make appointments today for anyone but the press.
Don't bother. I've got one of the information directors.
Oh, you know her?
No, not exactly. She's got business. I was headed for New York, but she wanted me to come here. So I got a plane.
I have lost my key. The day begins. You will now separate for 15 minutes and be alone with your thoughts. Exercise B14 in private communion. Then come back. I wish to talk with you.
Who is that? Stardust?
That's Mr. Bob, our director. Craig tends to walk. He studied under Stanislavski.
Who has
Have you?
No. Mamushka insists I pick up ballet. She gave me father's old slippers. Tell me something, will you?
If I'm quick to.
Prudence Mason is a big Broadway star. What's she coming out here for? What's the school?
She's going to appear with our students in a play. Antony and Cleopatra. She plays Cleopatra.
Oh, I thought she might play the snake. But what I don't get is, why?
Lots of big stars do it nowadays. The students get the benefit of her rich and varied experience in life. She gets the benefit of her uncommercialized freshness.
Oh, I see! A university theater. What kind of classes do you have here?
Just about everything. Art, with emphasis on its internal aspects.
Who teaches that?
Mr. Bob, he's terribly stimulating and...
Yes, playwriting. Who teaches that?
Mr. Bob, with emphasis on folk types and modern verse, combined as possible.
How about directing?
Mr. Bob,
How about home economics?
silky court. Today women are free to live an aesthetic life as men.
That's what my mother always said. She paints postcards. Stanislavski system?
I do not know you, but I've heard what you said. It is not for me. It is for our guest, Miss Mason. She will expect it.
What's the matter? She's got a cold?
She is an artist. The artist suffers. It will make the suffering more bearable.
Look, I'm suffering right now. How about... Oh, never mind. The name's Jennifer Flanagan. I'm here to
not open till next week, but my secretary will make your reservation.
1 or 2?
No, no. I don't want to see the show. Heaven forbid. So,
Well, then what are you here for?
I've come to see Miss Mason. We've got business together.
Yes, and where are you from?
Hollywood, Limited Artist Studios.
Oh, Hollywood! You'll come into my office, yes? Ugh.
You think there's room? I haven't got claustrophobia, understand? But I wouldn't want to pick it up.
Thus, we will talk here. Dismiss! Go to the ladies' room.
It's fifth, is it? Do you mind not mentioning to any of the students here that I'm from Hollywood? Let's just keep it an official secret.
Oh, I see. Something you're trying to put out in the paper. You don't want scandal.
Now, hey, no. It's just that I once had a friend. He walked into the School of Drama, his first job, too. And they never found him again.
You are a talent scout, eh?
You needed more here, Mr. Flanagan. The legitimacy of our home. You're above the picture.
Well, that's easy. It's hard to get below them. So when do you expect Miss Mason?
In approximately 21 minutes and 30 seconds. She's motoring down with a friend.
A friend? Claire Carter?
No, not a woman. A Mr. Scott Jr.
Oh, not so good.
Why not?
I read about him in the papers. She might marry the guy.
Mr. Flanagan, I see you agree with me. Marriage is artistic suicide.
I'm afraid I've got another angle on that. But if he is as charming as the papers say,
She will not do it. Not until she's exhausted her talent. She's an artist.
but he isn't. Arthur Scott Jr. is in Wall Street. He may not want her going back to the coast.
You wanted to? For a picture?
Right. It's a particular part. The boss wants her.
Perhaps if she will let go, you would give one of my girls a screen test? There's
But-
fine talent here.
I thought you said you girls weren't interested in pictures.
I do not encourage it, but perhaps if I were to go along for a very small fee as opposed.
No, no! I'm not signing up any amateur.
Well, I just thought of something good for you. Mr. Scott is going back tonight. They will not be together here.
That's so? How long she'll be here?
10 days. You rehearse for 5 and play for 5. 5 and 5. 10.
Ha! Did that on your fingers. It's just a chance.
Mr. Ball, about my studio play.
I am busy. Go away.
But what I wanted to ask was, don't you think it would make a good film?
Hey,
You remember, it takes place on a train. It's perfect headshot. It has a certain English quality. Louis Olivier wouldn't love it. And the whole thing is reminiscent of my captain.
Let's have no discrimination. You left out luggage.
Oh, you know pictures? You wouldn't happen to be connected with them, would you?
No, you've got me confused with somebody. Well, Parsons, for instance. Mr. Buck, I'm really not afraid of crowds, but do you think you could wait for Miss Mason somewhere private?
by all means, Mr. Flanagan. I will take you to the faculty room. It is very private there because I am the faculty.
I heard that.
Janet, do you feel that films have really ever come of age?
You look funny, Janet. Is your cold work?
Who's that?
She is Miss Ross. You will see her in the play. There are others who act better.
They haven't got that face.
Jan, that fellow's from pictures. Marion said.
I know he is. Living an artist. He distinctly asked me not to tell anyone, so don't let on that you know. Do you think you might test any of us? I have to lose some weight.
They think Hollywood is horrible. Sun, nothing but sun.
Might be amusing to spend a year or two in Hollywood for the laughs and then go into Broadway.
Janet, you're not listening.
What's the matter with you?
It's Phil. Now what's he done? He gave me 2 aspirins and asked me to marry him. Marry you with your talent? You better not let Mr. Barker say such a thing.
Mr. Ross is married as a trap.
I know. The only thing that surprises me is I think I love him. Janet, no one wants you not to love him, but
farmhands, 3 tractors, 1 cyclone, and an old pump, gas leak.
Don't you make fun of Phil's work. He's good. But it would cut me off. Janet, you tell him to wait till he sees Prudence Mason. She's never married.
She's been single-minded.
Maybe when he sees how her freedom has enriched her work, he won't be so anxious to deny you your creative fulfillment. So, Jan, don't let him destroy you, Janet. Hello, Phil. How do you feel now? Much better, Phil. I think the accent helps.
Oh, I met up with the others. See, Janet, I didn't even take unfair advantage of you asking me then, and when I saw you with your nose running and your eyes watering, I just couldn't resist asking you. It was so nice what I did.
Did I? I felt nice, too. Well, funny anyways. Maybe it was a cold. Phil, I've been thinking about it and talking it over.
With who? Oh, come on, Janet.
Well, you don't have to be furtive about it, do you, Phil?
Well, fellows expect a girl to talk it over with her mother or somebody like that. That tried.
Phil, even if Mother were here to talk to, how could she help? She doesn't even know it aesthetically. She just got married out of social habits. They're more like we are.
They are not. They've got a bunch of scenery art, a two-dimensional paint job on the front, and a blank canvas on the back. I want to marry you, Janet.
Sure, Phil. I know that.
Well then, I think you love me. Maybe. Remember the other night on the library steps? You weren't kidding, were you?
No.
You were just like a painting when you get the original idea. Before it gets spoiled because your hands are so awkward. There you were, all finished.
Honest, Phil?
Oh, Janet, we'd be enough for each other, even in Nebraska. You'd have a house, a kitchen, and I cut the lawn.
Oh, golly, Phil. That's just what Mr. Fox said. You get all tied up in middle-class summer, and you never get any stimulus at all.
Well, I'd be willing to poke you in the nose now and then, if that's what you mean.
Don't joke, Phil. It's serious. First thing you know, I'd be tending rose bushes or something. Sublimation is called. Working off your creative instincts on flowers or kitchen curtains. I'd be frustrated.
Now, Janet,
Phil, people get neurotic that way. Do you want to be married to a neurotic?
if I did, I'd propose to one of those dopes over there.
Oh, you don't understand. It's too bad, too. Because it does have a remote kind of appeal for me. My feminine heritage, I suppose, in conflict with my talent. Phil, why do you suppose God had to go and make me an artist?
Well, Janet, are you sure he did?
Phil, don't you have faith in my talent?
Well, now, aren't there many different kinds of talent?
Sure, but mine's practice.
Are you sure of that?
Of course, why?
Well, I've never told you this before. But, look, I love you. But I think you're lousy acting.
Suspend activity.
Is it time, Mr. Boss?
Approximately 7 minutes, 22 seconds. I will talk with you now. Assemble, please.
Will we meet her as soon as she comes, Mr. Bob?
First, I will meet with her, personally. Then, you will meet with her, in that order. Now,
Yes, Mr. Bob?
we wish Miss Mason to feel at home here. But remember, she's a professional actress. She will be a true sophisticate. She will not be at home with children with immature minds. Therefore, I wish you not to be children.
You won't.
In 10 days, Miss Mason will go back to New York. I want her to say to her associates there that she did not feel she was working with amateurs, with ordinary people. I want her to say that we are advanced, not only in our acting, but in our attitude, our living, our thinking.
You have made us that, Mr. Bob.
Yes, I've spoken to you many times of the artistic way of life. Art is life. It is the true mysticism. Nothing else matters.
Nothing else?
Besides art, each of everything else is vulgar. Mothers are vulgar. Fathers are vulgar. Business is vulgar. Economics is vulgar. Society is vulgar.
What about marriage, Mr. Bob?
Vulgar.
What would you say of Nebraska, Mr. Fox?
Of Nebraska, I would not
Do you want me to put it in the book that Mr. Ford left an assembly without permission, Mr. Bob?
No, it is all right. He had an impulse. But no more impulses.
Mr. Bob, exactly
Observe Miss Mason when she comes. There you will see the character. You will see that she has lived every part. You will find her content with it, with the spiritual satisfaction of art, nothing more. You'll see that she has never tried to have some of their life beside. Of course, you will see suffering, too. No doubt, you also see certain alleviations of this suffering. But you will not see a woman, a wife, a person. You will see an actress.
Maybe that's her car.
This is just what I did not wish to see. A most of the sudden is a certain sign of naivete. For this, you will not be here. Go to the classroom and wait. I will call you.
Shall I get the things out of the car now, dear?
Oh, let's meet everybody first, Arthur. I want to meet you.
Ah!
Is this Mr. Fox?
Who? Where? Oh, me. Yes, you're right. This is me. You recognize me from my handwriting, yes?
This is Arthur Scott.
Junior. My card? No. Fine. I will put you on the mailing list. For donations. Miss Mason, come in. You'll sit down, yes? Now, Miss Mason, I would like to tell you, see that chair there? As long as you are here, never sit in that chair.
I'll shut up here, Mr. Fox.
Now, we will have a drink.
Oh, thanks, no, Mr. Fox.
No? Oh, you can't give it up. I'm sorry.
But Miss Mason doesn't drink at all, Mr. Fox. She doesn't like it.
My friends kid me about it, but it makes me fuzzy.
We will not be fuzzy. Excepting Mr. Scott. How many fingers, eh? I did not really put my fingers in it. That is just an expression.
Oh, no thanks, Mr. Fox. Not during business hours.
You are in business?
Wall Street. Securities. We handle some
Oh,
pretty big-
wait! I've seen you drink, Miss Mason. I've seen you drunk.
Huh?
Where?
From the second balcony, in a play.
Oh, that? Well, sure, but I was acting.
You were acting drunk without first having experienced it?
Well, I've watched a lot of people drink too much, and from that I imagined what it would be like. That's what acting is, isn't it?
Is it?
Well, that's what Aunt Catherine always said. She taught me all I know. 50% observation, 50% imagination.
Yes, that is right. Plus 50% experience, living what you act.
Speaking as a businessman, Mr. Fox, that's 150%. You couldn't do that.
You cannot do it. I can do it.
Oh, but Mr. Fox, on case that you could live all the parts you played, you'd be dead.
Did I meet with this Aunt Katie?
Oh, she's a very old woman now. We only see her sometimes.
Next summer I will see her. It is perhaps a new technique. I will investigate. Well, here we are, eh? The Academy of Dramatic and Allied Arts. You like it, eh?
It's very big, is it?
Big? Why should it be big? Art flourishes under limitations. It is a first principle. Material aestheticism.
Well, I know I'm going to like it here.
But you're still standing up. Do not do so. Be at home. Mr. Scott, sit in a piano stool. But keep in mind it's a piano stool. Do not spit. Well, I would now offer you a cigarette, Miss Mason. Unfortunately, it is not allowed here by the Dean of Women. You understand it is against my principles to criticize other members of the university. I do not permit myself to do so. However, I will tell you one thing about the Dean of Women. She has no soul. More than that, I will not say. I will later show you a closet in the basement where by closing the door, it is possible to smoke when no one's coming. Cannot get over that you do not drink.
I guess I'm Prince's only vice, Mr. Fox.
You're not so bad, Mr. Scott. Of course, you are in business.
I'm afraid Arthur is very crazy about the theater.
No, I wouldn't say that, dear. There's nothing I like better than a good musical comedy.
Nevertheless, we're all friendly with each other, eh? Well,
Say, Mr. Fox, I've got to get back to New York. Business. I wonder if Prince and I could have a moment alone.
Of course, of course. I will get Miss Mason's bags in the car. Be private. I will make noise so I will not hear you.
You didn't have to send him out here. I don't like kissing you in front of other people.
I don't know. He worries me.
Oh, he's all right. I admit I was a little confused once or twice myself, but I like it here. I think it's going to be good for me.
Why? What is that guy who's behaving like that all day long?
I don't know. Maybe I've gone hard. I'm so used to being in New York with theater's a job, my regular work. Everybody's so practical. Maybe that's why he seems funny.
He'd be terrible in the exchange. He'd never last.
You know, I think he really thinks about art. Theater isn't just a job to him. It's a great love. He's so passionate about it.
Prue, are you trying to become more passionate about the theater?
Oh, no, Arthur, I didn't mean that.
You love it too much already. You know I think that.
Yes, I know.
Prue, why did you want to come here? Really?
To get fresh, Arthur, so I wouldn't become stale and hard and too businesslike. You can get shallow in New York, what everybody calls sophisticated.
He'll ruin that luggage.
Now, don't you fret, he's nearly through.
Well, I better guess I'll be getting back to New York now. Get away from that Carter woman.
Now, Arthur, I forbid you to say a word against Claire.
Well, you've quarreled with her, haven't you?
That doesn't concern you, Arthur.
Oh, I bet it does. How about when you find out with me? I know perfectly well she doesn't like you to go with me. But I can't for the life of me see why.
Arthur, we've got to remember all Claire's done for me. Like when I left New York and went without Kate, Claire was my guardian angel.
She runs you too much.
Now, Arthur, please.
True. All those things you said about why you came here. Is that the whole story? Truthfully?
Well, maybe not. I wish you wouldn't.
You're not trying to get away from me, are you?
Oh, darling, you put up with so much.
Well, I have, Prue. Why not shuck this? Come on back to New York and let's get married.
You know that's what I want more than anything else. I want a home. I want a normal life.
Then why not? Right now.
You've got to give me a little more time to think. I feel it'll come out all right. Not for sure now, but pretty sure.
Prue,
Uh-huh.
that's the last time I'm going to ask.
All right, Arthur. I don't blame you. I promise to give you my answer the minute I'm through here.
In 10 days?
In 10 days.
Miss Mason, the kid said you were here. I got your wire.
Oh, yes, you're Mr. Flanagan.
Formerly the Flanagan. Now Hollywood. Doing things.
Hollywood?
Yes. It's on the west coast.
You're not here on business, are you?
Your message wasn't quite clear, Mr. Flanagan. I do hope I haven't brought you all this way for nothing.
Well, I would like to talk a little business.
Who did you say?
Anything I said, I'll stand by. Now, you better be getting back to New York for that meeting.
Maybe I'd better not try. Might be just as well I waited around until you're settled.
I think there's a part opening this show. You could carry a spirit.
No, darling. If I'm not going to let the theater interfere with your life later,
Our life, Prudence.
our life, then I won't let it interfere now. You better be getting back to New York. But you will come back for the opening, won't you?
Sure. That isn't unless the sale matures.
If it does, you just stay with it. Now, goodbye, sir.
Goodbye. See you.
Arthur's always having to choose between me and his work. I'm afraid I'm an awful burden to him.
His shoulders are all right.
They are. So what do you want to talk about, Mr. Flanagan?
I'll go right to the point. Limited Artist is willing to offer you $75,000 for a first picture, with options on 3 more at a sliding scale.
Huh? 75,000 what?
Dollars, Miss Mason. No coupons to be clipped. No more box stuff to be sent in. They want you to lead in Christina.
Christina? Christina? You mean from the book? You mean that wonderful, that lovely part?
Strictly in a budget. Look for an Academy Award director on the picture. And the building was set now. Are you interested?
Am I interested? Do I want to play the dream part of my whole life? Oh, Mr. Flanagan, let me catch my breath. You'll think I'm a sap going on like this. I guess I'm supposed to be coy and pretend like I don't really care.
I can wait.
That's what my agent always says to do, but I'm just so flabbergasted.
I can wait.
Ah, Miss Mason, I see you've met Mr. Flanagan. That is good. Converse. Then I'll bring you your fellow artist,
you'll read the script then?
With both hands. Oh dear, maybe I won't either.
No.
Mr. Flanagan, you've been so straightforward with me. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm thinking of getting married.
Happens quite a bit. I might be able to get Arthur in as a doorman or something. But I think it might be better
If I don't, why? Is it better publicity if I'm not?
Oh, that doesn't matter much anymore. It's just that people change a lot when they get to Hollywood and...
Well, of course, that's beside the point. If I marry Arthur, I'm going to retire.
What's the matter? Doesn't he want to share you with the American public? Kind of selfish, isn't he?
Oh, it's the way I see things. You see, I'm getting to be a big girl now, and I want a real honest to goodness life before I miss it. I don't want theaters and pictures to get in the way of it.
Yeah, sure do have to brush a lot of swimming pools to one side out there. Well, I'll leave it to you, Miss Mason. It's a beautiful chance.
Don't have to tell me, and I'm so grateful. How long would you give me to decide?
The boss wants us to start shooting in 3 weeks. The building is settled now.
So then, if I told you when I'm through here, that'd be all right?
Well, that's a little tight. But the boss wants it pretty badly. I think you take a chance. So I get the script for you?
Please do, and thanks a lot. Oh, you wouldn't happen to know Paul Kenyon, would you?
Paul? Sure, I know Paul. Dark self-producer. You know him?
I used to. What's he like now?
Oh, same old Paul. Talks pictures, leaks pictures, thinks pictures. Doesn't go much socially. Serves the lonesome, but works everything type.
I see. Thank you. I just need to know him, that's all.
That's what he said.
Ahem. Now you'll meet your fellow artists.
You haven't met him yet?
But I'm dying to. Where are they?
Open up the wardrobe. Stand lefty. Let him loose.
Attention each. You may now come in. Miss Mason wishes to meet her supporting company.
Hello, everybody. I'm so happy to know you. I hope we'll all get to be good friends. And I'm crazy about the play. I haven't done any Shakespeare yet, you know. Of course, you're way ahead of me there. You must have done lots. I hope you'll tell me about all the productions you've done. Hello! Why, how do you do? You are? Miss Freeman, Miss Dawson, Miss Jones. We learned she's in your show, Miss Mason. And in between that, the usher. Look at that, no relations, Miss Mason. Look, I can our show. Look at Miss Love.
Freeman! Robinson Jones! Your children! For this, go to the seed shop and make glue. Forgive them, Miss Mason. They are young and have not yet achieved the savoir-faire. I will banish them from you heretofore.
Oh, don't do that. That's cute.
Yes, I now wish you need.
Miss Mason, I want to know something.
Oh, this is Mr. Ford. He's our student designer.
What's all this talk about you not getting married and being an example of Janet? Are you opposed to human family?
Opposed to? Why, this what? I don't see.
Mr. Ford! To the seed shop! Supervise the making of glue! Forgive us, Miss Mason. You must meet some of a more advanced students. This is John Redmond. In Antony and Cleopatra, he will play Octavius Caesar.
As Octavius, Miss Mason, I must conceive a great hatred for you. Mr. Fox says we must live our roles off stage as well as on. So if you see me glaring at you from time to time around the campus, you understand, won't you?
Well, I don't know.
This is Stella Braun. You two have a great deal in common. She is already suffering.
I wish they wouldn't talk about it so much. It's my own sorrow. I've got to live with it.
Miss Janet Ross. She will play the wife of Mark Antony. She will take him from you.
I see you, Miss Mason. You could be another woman's man. I feel it. Well, I think I should ask you so.
Mr. Finn.
Don't mind him, Mr. Flanagan. He's young. I think you're awfully sweet to be so interested in me.
Nothing definite. You understand? Don't go buying any stuff out yet. I'll watch the performance. Oh, Mr. Flanagan! Not 5 minutes ago, I got 19 one play. I knew you wouldn't want any other dude for you.
Attention! Do not pursue Mr. Flanagan. He used to have absolute freedom from conversation in this academy. Everybody suspend! For 5 minutes, you are an object. You must come to have the soul of that object. Exercise A6. Miss Moriarty, you are an orange.
Peeled or unpeeled?
Light. No more questions, no more movement. Absolute concentration. Miss Brahms, you are a fishing pole, but you do not catch fish. Therefore, you are frustrated. Mr. Brown, you are a mousetrap with G. Mr. Redmond, you are a keyhole. Empty yourself out. Mr. Voorhees, a centipede. Miss Fitz, 3 yards of muslin. Miss Keene, a broken teapot. Everybody else is a tadpole. Contemplate! Mr. Flanagan, I understand one of my proteges appeals to you yet.
What do you say, Janet?
Are you in? Are you really going to Hollywood? Do you suppose it could really happen to me? Why not?
What's the Brutus face got that you have? What did you think of her, by the way?
Rather odd, isn't she?
Did she seem very sophisticated to you?
Curiously fresh face for one who suffered.
Did you find her really mature?
I did show fair watching.
Charade. Or a writer. Ah, that shell Rasputin. Always just ahead of me.
Land to starboard! Land!
Nope. Dead. All dead. The horror of it. Which one of you is lost life? Nope. That's all. Quite a lot of it back there. You know, I always wondered what they meant by arrested development. All right, kids, what have you done with her?
With who?
Who are you? You mean to tell me you don't recognize Ginger Rogers when he's here? Where's Prudence Mason? Don't tell me to break silence for a second again. Where's Prudence Mason?
I'll get her for you. Who shall I say wants to see her?
Just tell her mom is here with a paregoric.
Are you really Prince Mason's mom?
See, we're not going to get along. Yes!
Would you like to see Mr. Brock too? He's a director.
Yeah, you can tell my tongue about that castle now. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. Red light! Sorry, wrong gang.
You do know Prince Mason, then?
I wonder if you tell us something about her.
Her confidence is yours. What do you want to know?
How does she act?
That is, does she really fake it?
Or has she really lived her part? We'd like to know.
I see.
is at low stakes. Why come here?
You'll laugh. I thought it would be a healthy environment. Clear my head.
Okay, let's say I laugh.
I wanted to get away someplace where I could stand back and look at myself. Get some perspective. I wanted to put Broadway over there and everything on Kate told me over there. And Arthur over there.
Couldn't we put Arthur way over there?
Now you know you don't understand Arthur.
That's like telling me I don't understand the Empire State Building. I wouldn't want it around the house either.
Arthur is a little stuffy, but maybe I want to be stuffy. Maybe I want to be ordinary and live like other people. That's what I've got to find out. What to do with my life. So when Mr. Bach invited me to come here as a guest star, I jumped at the chance. On top of that, I told Arthur I'd give him the answer the day I was through here, so I can't go back till I know.
Why don't you let me give the answer? I know good one.
You're just not fair to Arthur.
I suppose you were fair to Paul Kenyon.
Now don't bring that up. Paul was in the profession too. He wanted me to stay in it. Those things don't work.
Why not?
Because then you've got two people with careers who makes a home. And Claire, I want a home. I want a normal life.
So if you want to spend time in the kitchen, you can hire her out as a cook.
I want a real life.
You can't be normal. You were born with a stick of makeup in one hand and press clipping in the other.
All right, so I can act. Does that mean I can't be real too? Living is an art itself, you know.
Hooey, that's the worst excuse for not doing what you were born to do that I know of. You should have married Paul 3 years ago and settled it. You'd have made out.
No. I've seen too many professional marriages bust up. And as for not marrying at all, well, I've seen too many tired out, broken down old actresses who let it slip past them. I heard him directly at Paul today, though. He's doing very well.
I know. He's top producer for Limited Artists.
What did you say?
I'll try it again. He's top producer for Limited Artists.
Oh, no.
Reception any better?
Not limited artists.
What's the matter?
Oh, Claire, I'm so disappointed. That's the company that offered me a film contract today. And it was Paul all the time.
Neat. I heard he never got you out of his head.
And Mr. Flanagan never said who the producer was.
Shall I wire Arthur to get back in the stag line?
Oh, no, I'd never take it now.
What? Baby, you like California. You love rain.
Paul's just trying to get me out there. Oh, no, I have to come to Mr. Flanagan right away.
Well, Miss Mason, we will rehearse now. Fine.
Oh, well, yes, it's time. We haven't got any to lose. I know my line.
We will not begin with lines. We will begin with those little patterns applied to space. Assemble, please. Okay, now, first, let me tell you why I see this play. Antony and Cleopatra, by Shakespeare. I see it as a huge crystal ball, spinning round and round in the ether. Cleopatra is the axis, and from her comes light, millions of light. But it is heat too. Slowly, the heat consumes the whole ball until it devours itself. Do you agree, Miss Mason?
When I
Tell him, dear, you've always wanted to play an actress. You know that.
Please, visitors will remain quiet.
Oh, I forgot. You haven't met Miss Carter. She's a friend of mine from New York.
I'm sure I'm going to be a friend of yours too, Mr. Bach. I can see you doing unusual things here.
Yes, it is a new concept. Now, in this ball are many other compounds. They are your characters. Each has its own spiritual movement, its line, and its abstraction in space. Miss Ross, you are Octavia. How do you visualize this character?
As I see Octavia, she's a normal woman living a normal life, complete vacuum. Also, she's alone a great deal. I seem to feel a series of plodding motions, always in a circle, because she cannot seem to break the dullness of a married woman. Like all people who try to be normal, she's really inhibited and selfish. So the circle gets smaller and smaller, till at last there's nothing left. Nothing. Just useless mass, bones, and tissue existing in a void.
That is very interesting, Miss Ross. I can see her inside the park.
Sometimes it's hard to get out, Mr. Bach.
You, Mr. Voorhees, how do you see your character?
Mr. Bach,
Yes.
may I sit on the floor?
If it will help you to be one of us, of course.
As I see
theory about Cleopatra. Miss Mason is a Freud, you know. And her idea that Cleopatra isn't really in love with Anthony. No. She's really in love with her goldfish! So, at the end of the play, when she kills herself, she doesn't do it with the snake. The snake is out. Instead, she puts her head in the goldfish bowl and drowns herself. And then we get this last tableau. The curtain is drawn, and there she lies. Prudence, I think it's a lovely idea. Oh, you, Mr. Fox, aren't we going to rehearse on the stage?
Later, Miss Mason. First, we must establish psychological tone.
Well, we open in a few days, and I've got all the business to learn.
Do not worry about business. We will do that with life.
You see, Darlene, I told you. We do that with life. Oh, but...
Miss Mason, I can see you're anxious to work. You'll stand here, please, yes?
You mean we're going to rehearse now?
First, we must establish psychological tones. Now, Cleopatra must dominate the other characters. Other characters? Be dominated! There. You feel dominant, Miss Mason?
Well, I suppose so.
Very well. Distribute. Now, Miss Mason, we must give to Anthony the sense of being controlled by you.
Ready, Mr. Fox.
Fine. Miss Mason, put your hands on his shoulders. Okay. Now, you must control the path of physical action. Move him. But deliberately, more forcefully. No, Miss Mason, push him. Miss Mason, push him hard. There, you get a feeling of being controlled?
Clearly, Mr. Fox.
You, Miss Mason, how do you feel?
Mr. Fox, I feel like a dark fool.
Oh, you do not respond?
No, Mr. Fox, I don't respond. I came here to act.
But we are acting.
No, you're not acting. I don't know what it is you're doing. Something most peculiar.
First, we must live the role. Then we can...
I don't know anything about living the plays, Mr. Fox. I've never lived one. I just use my imagination and go from there. Incredible.
I knew it.
Claire, you tell them, make them see. Look, in response to popular demand, for which I thank you all, I am now going to give my lecture on how to act with practically no distress, or the non-epileptic theater. A tradition which has passed through a long line of old stock companies, culminating in Rochester in 1926. Now, in this method, known as get your shit ready, quick, the audience with the lobby method, the first principle of acting is, at all times, keep 3 feet away from the guest star. This is known as aesthetic distance. And in practice, it works out roughly with the guest star about center stage. And the rest of you, undulating slightly on the fringes. Rule number 2. When you are speaking to the guest star, you stand downstage from them, with your back to the audience, leaving her to face them. This is known as virtue of humility, and means you'll inherit fear. That is, you'll inherit it permanently if you don't do it. Rule number 3. When the guest star is speaking, stand still, preferably in the upright position. This is known as rigor mortis, and will, I'm sure, be a desirable experience for all of you. On second thought, you can breathe, but not heavily. Now, this brings me to a matter of... That's terrible! We can't do that.
Not respect ourselves.
Completely misses the core. That's all right. I'll give Are you Flanagan?
Right. Hey, I bet you're Carter.
Right. And I bet I know who told you about me.
Who?
Paul Kenny.
What do you know about Paul?
Why, I raised that boy from an understudy. I introduced him to Prudence.
Got that inside track on Dylan after
Yeah. And so is she. I accidentally spilled it.
Uh-oh. How do you stand on the matter?
Friend Flanagan, there's one thing I do before I hop that white horse and head for Bahia. Get those two back together again. How do we do it?
Well, I just done what I could.
What's that?
Stopped in for a social chat with the dean and women. Casually mentioned that Prince Mason arrived down here with a man in tow. Bad as down with the students.
Where does that get us?
Not to my past law. Yes, does read the men sent to New York. I just don't want Arthur to come back here again.
You know about him, huh?
Yeah. How do you think he raised?
Strictly from the Crosby stable. But she's considering it.
I know. Got to think of an angle. Couldn't some get jealous?
Of what?
If hard, like Christina. I might drop a hint that she doesn't take it. I signed one of these kids here. Maybe that Ross girl. Think she'd fall for it?
I don't know. It's never happened before, but she loves the part. It might be worth a try. You've got to think. I'll see if I can get a room over the teen women. Keep more people awake that way.
Oh, it's Ross!
Yes, I have to go to rehearsal now.
I don't keep you. Just want to ask. Have you by any chance ever read a novel called Christina?
Oh, yes. You want Miss Mason to make a picture of it, don't you?
No, who told you that?
Oh, just a grapevine. Things get around.
They certainly do.
But why do you ask me?
Oh, no reason. None at all. Just checking in to see how many people are ready. Box office, you know.
I see. Yes.
You, won't mention to anyone that I spoke to you about it?
Oh, no. No one.
We'll just keep it between us.
Sure.
Sure.
Well, you're doing all right for yourself.
Phil, you scared me. What do you mean?
What those? You're getting awfully chummy with that guy, aren't you? Having confidences just between you two.
Phil Ford, what's getting into your mind?
I know all about these Hollywood guys. Wolves, that's what they are. Wolves, and you're falling for it.
You don't think that. That's nice, Mr. Flanagan.
You little bonehead.
Well, okay. That's what you think of me.
Say, you know what? No, don't move. Stay like you were.
Why?
You'd make a swole painting. I paint.
You do?
Sure, that pose is just right. Miss Mason,
Yes.
would you ever sit for me, Miss Mason?
Like, I guess so, sure.
Golly! See, I do the painting this way. With your hair over your shoulder like this, and with your hand in your lap like so.
Would you really do it?
You bet. Let's. For rehearsal.
Nice fun.
Flip away when no one's looking.
Someone is always looking, Mr. Ford, and when they're not, your conscience is.
Who's that?
Dean of women.
You, I take it, are Prudence Mason, the actress?
Like, yes.
And just what do you mean by embracing this ignorant young boy?
Embracing him? What's the matter with Ford?
Tempting him with your Broadway wiles?
Good heavens!
Heaven knows what you're going to do, young man. I don't blame you. You're no match for her kind. Where's that Russian?
Claire, come here! Why, benefit, Madame Defarge. Did I take piano to me at Wilkes-Barre?
I taught piano at Wilkes-Barre. At the moment, I have business to attend
Well,
to.
Mr. Ford, please listen, I tell you. Oh, Claire was awful. We were just sitting here. He yelled at me, so I came in. But she thinks he's gonna do a painting here. He's got a girl here, and something about Jerry Flanagan. But she thinks, Claire, don't you see? Sure, in February has 28. Claire, what's the matter with this place? I finally found the one boy I like, and this happened.
You heard that, Mr. Fox? She found one boy she liked.
Janet, don't pay any attention. I admit I kissed her once.
You kissed her.
Yes, but...
Mr. Ford!
No, I will not mix any more glue.
Young man, you admit this woman attracted you?
No, but she's certainly good. I think she's a very attractive person. I think she's the most attractive thing I've been able to find around here.
Don't say that, you'll make it worse.
I think it'd be very easy to fall in love with you. Miss Mason, I think you're a very lovable person.
That will be enough, Mr. Ford.
I think it'd be very easy to fall in love with Mr. Carter.
More of it.
Bless you, boy.
Mr. Fox, it is my solemn duty to protect this university from alien and dangerous influences, and I have to keep a particular eye on the theater. We now have all the evidence. Unless Miss Mason can offer proof to the contrary,
But how can I prove anything?
unless Miss Mason can offer proof to the contrary, you suspend all activities immediately and withdraw the production.
I cannot do that. I have full ticket.
Don't let her do that. It's in the papers and hurt your career.
What'll I say? Try saying, 7 years ago, our fathers fought forth upon this continent. See where that gets you.
Well, Miss Mason, have you nothing to say in your own defense?
You'll just have to take my word for it. He did kiss me, but he was only going to paint me.
Well, that's running true to form, an artist and his models. I guess we all know about them. You will close the show, Mr. Carr.
The pigs look at this. They'll ruin you.
Miss Mason, say something. Say something else.
Oh, wait!
Yes, Miss Mason? I'm waiting, Miss Mason.
It's just this. How could I be interested in one of the boys here when I'm going to be married tonight?
Huh? You're going to be married?
Maybe. Yes, it's all set.
I trust the intended groom is not Mr. Ford.
Heavens, no.
Then to whom are you?
She wishes to know. Who is groom?
Mr. Arthur Scott, Jr.
But he is not here.
He will be here. He's coming. We planned it that way as a surprise.
Miss Mason, you did it. I am surprised. Thank you. See, everything is all right. You will like Mr. Scott, a very charming man in business.
I shall be here for the wedding. Then we will see.
Goodness, did I make it that definite? Honey, listen. Be quiet. Let me think.
But Mr. Bob, she's going to get married.
It's against your principle. You're not going to abandon them all.
Silence! Necessities first, principles later. Do not object. For this, you all help decorate. For the wedding, everybody decorate. Mix glue.
Mr. Bob,
Yes, Miss Mason.
can I make you use your phone again?
By all means, Miss Mason, unlimited service. Do not even reverse the charges.
Think you're not serious.
Look, you can ride this thing out.
No, you heard what that woman said. She thinks because I'm an actress I can't be nice, can't be normal. I'm going to be normal. Curtis, if you do this thing, I'll never speak to you again as long as I live in England. I'm going to have Arthur take a plane here tonight. Before I
After all, Mr. Bach merely said to decorate for the wedding.
And marriage is, yes, the artist. Shows us very work. Janet, stop that. Other people suffer too. But I can't understand what's on in the film. You think he is lousy. He's just fascinated by her. That's all.
I've been thinking about her and her methods of acting.
Yes? What, John?
She won't let us follow her own principles, will she?
No.
And Mr. Bach has helped us to oppose her, isn't he?
Yes.
Well, we'll do it her way, right through rehearsal, right up till opening night. Then on opening night,
Separation, please. No intimate conversation. Intimacy is forbidden. I do not wish you all to accumulate until it's time for the wedding. Then we will all. Mother of Russia! It is black! Black! An outrage! You've conceived an outrage! You've committed a nuisance! Take it down! Dismiss it from the wall! No! I will do it myself! I do not trust you. Although I have timid ladders and may destroy myself, I will do it! Get out! Where's the ladder? You've hidden the ladder! I will search you!
Oh.
Do not kill me, Miss Mason! Do not institute the law! I will take it down. I may get dizzy and perhaps crash, but I will do it.
Operator, are you still ringing Miss Carter's room? No answer? Oh, dear, but I haven't seen her since she disappeared this afternoon. No, I know you can't help it. And there's been a telegram for me from New York. All right, thank you. Oh, Arthur, you've been so long coming.
Well, honey, what's all this?
Oh, I knew I could count on you. I was so right.
You can always count on me, Prudence. Surprised you ever doubted it.
You don't know how good you look.
Well, I realize I'm not exactly homely.
Arthur, the cat's gone.
Well, it's all right. I dipped him.
Where is he? The cat's gone. He's not here. Did you bring anybody from New York to marry us?
Oh boy, no, Prudence. Gee,
Arthur, dear, didn't you understand me on the phone?
you mean about getting married?
Yes, yes.
Why, sure, Prue. You can't imagine how happy I am you decided. I'm sure you're going to do a sensible thing.
But it was to be right now, in 10 minutes, tonight.
Well, now that's what I didn't quite see. Don't you think that's rushing things a little?
Arthur, don't you want to?
You bet I want to. But I want to do it up right, not down here. A hurried up affair. I want you to come back to New York with me and...
Did you even get the license?
Now see here, Prudence, I don't want to seem stodgy about this thing, but after all, marriage. If I was to do it this way, why, I might get the reputation with the firm of being flighty. I always thought when I would get married, I want to have some of my associates there, some of my best customers. After all, it's one of those times, you know.
Yes, yes, I see.
Prudence, you're not acting a bit like yourself. Are you all right?
Huh? Oh, sir, I'm all right. I'm dandy.
Well, I'm darned if you look at Prudence.
The groom! Welcome to the wedding, Mr. Scott. Do not say a word about it. I'm taking it down.
Mr. Buck, please, you can do that later.
Thank you, Miss Mason. I'm not anxious to ascend. I will delay it.
Arthur.
Hey, what is all that stuff?
Oh, that never mind. Now listen.
Prudence, what has got into you?
You've got to do something for me.
Why anything, Prudence? You know that.
That marry me, huh?
I'll marry the minute we're back in New York.
No, listen, Arthur. We are married.
What?
Yes,
No, we're not.
that's it. We slipped away at supper. You got here early, and that's when we did it. We wanted a quiet wedding. Yes.
Prudence, what are are you talking about?
You got that, Arthur? If anyone asks you, can you say that back? Slip away at supper.
Prudence, are you asking me to lie?
Oh, what's a little lie at this stage of the game?
In business, we don't think like that. Your word is your honor.
All right, Arthur, you don't have to lie. All you have to do is pretend a little. That's it. We'll just pretend we're married.
But why? You haven't even told me why all this rush. Just call me up on the phone and tell me to come down here. And now you want me to perjure myself? Answer me why?
Miss Mason, the Dean of Women is crossing the campus. I must take it down.
Arthur, you've got to have blind faith. Do as I tell you. Wait, boss office, and I'll call you. And when I do, you must pretend.
I am already part dizzy, but I will sacrifice.
Well, Miss Mason, I have come for the services. Mr. Fox, what are you doing?
The secret of art is mystery. Do not ask. Do not support me. If I die, it will be on your head. Go on with the wedding.
Yes, Miss Mason, let us get on with the wedding. Who will officiate?
Well, you certainly can.
Hush, young woman, I always follow the ceremonies with my book. I am ready, Miss Mason.
Well, surprise!
What?
Well, I mean, Madam, before everybody, I have a surprise for you.
Not another.
Yes, you're all too late.
Mr. Scott is not dead.
Oh, no, nothing like that. The fact is, we're already married.
You are? By long-distance telephone, I presume. I don't see any husband.
He got here early, that's how. We slipped away at dinner. But why am I telling you all this since I was right here to show you Arthur has to come out? Should she keep him in his cage?
Arthur, come out.
I want you to know my husband, Arthur Scott Jr.
Miss Mason, it is a surprise. Congratulations. Oh, continue, Mr. Scott. I did not think the last time I saw you I was treating a husband. How is business?
Well, fine. In fact, I closed a deal today.
Well, Mr. Scott, I hope you know what you're getting into.
Arthur and I have known each other
It's
for
a good thing you could get here in time to protect the name of the school, not to mention Miss Mason's own reputation.
Arthur, I want you to meet everybody personally.
Prudence, what did she mean?
Well, Mr. Bach, I dare say you can want the production under the circumstances. But remember, one more scandal.
Arthur, this young man is Raymond Brown.
Damn, know what she mean by that?
Not now, dear, later. And this is Bob's secretary. And there's no business like no business like no. Mary, how can I turn? Claire, what have you been doing? Celebrating, baby. You're really lost to virtue. The day Prudence Mason became normal. Oh, darling, I'm all sneaky butt. Can I borrow one of yours? Now look here, Claire.
Oh, Miss Carter, are you drunk?
And all the little ones gathered at the family hearth. Prudence, baby, have you really gone and done it? Yes, Claire. Arthur and I slipped away.
Prudence, I want to talk to you.
Kiss the bride? How long? No scribbles, Flanagan. You know our Prudence. Kisses everybody.
What's this?
Arthur, Claire, come out here with me and I'll tell you all. No, you don't. You can't brush me aside. Why, if I lost this room, I would leave it. Arthur! Darling! Stay in the room and get into the street!
Stop!
Claire! We can go on it before Arthur! Those stupid nights! Those peanuts! Funny Prudence! Oh my, she's got so many! Prudence, you mustn't be selfish. You've got that little trainer fellow.
What?
And I know somebody out in Hollywood who thinks you're pretty nice. And I promise not to be jealous of you, even if he is your husband.
But I'm not! This can't go any further. I'm not Prudence Mason's husband.
But how can it be if you are married?
But we're not married.
Maybe, is this true? You haven't done it?
Miss Mason, explain yourself.
No, we're not married yet. Arthur didn't get here in time.
I thought you said you got here early,
I know. I was lying.
just as I thought.
But we're going to be married.
I believe I'm due certain explanations first.
Flanagan, we're not licked yet.
I wouldn't believe you or Mr. Junior. Now, Mr. Bach, you will close the show. Furthermore, I feel it my duty to record my reasons for closing it to the newspaper. Secret?
That's right, Sal. We know you.
You're known, see? What are you two ruffians talking about? Did you or did you not, on July 22nd, 1969, applaud the entire Festival of Wilkes-Barre Choral at Happy Honey? God heavens! Be careful of what you say. He's a county man. This is most preposterous. Preposterous, eh? What do you say if I called Clemens? Or Daisy Stoner? Or Billy Beeble? Ask them to testify?
Clem? Daisy?
They remember. They've been waiting to get even with you for 30 years.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, you just canter back to your little office over there, mind your own business, and I'll keep mum.
Mum's the word.
Mr. Bach, perhaps you'd better go on to show up. I'll think about it later.
Miss Carter, you have saved us.
Claire, was all that true about Sonny was fun?
Certainly not.
But those names, they frightened her.
I know. They took piano from her when they were kids. They hate it.
Oh, this is beyond me.
It is, son. Don't struggle with it.
And Claire, you weren't even drunk.
I talked to Kate myself.
You did all this just to discredit Arthur.
So that's it. I told you she'd do us so good.
You be quiet. You were no help.
I have my integrity to think of.
You should have been thinking of me.
I don't know what to think of you. The things I've been hearing tonight.
That's the trouble. You haven't got any faith. Give it to him, baby. You come next.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you hear the gong, it'll be the end of round.
I do so have faith on one condition. I'll forget everything that happened here tonight, provided you come back to New York with me this minute.
Oh, no. I'm not even sure I like you. I'm an actress. You couldn't even pretend for 5 minutes tonight. I'm going to stay here and do this show. I'm not at all sure you're welcome.
Silence! It is enough! We must save some emotion for rehearsal.
Oh, but Miss Mason is wanted.
Yes, we seem most anxious to appear with her in the second act.
There's something slimy about all that goodwill.
I have just noticed. I am off the ladder, and I did not fall. I am no longer afraid. I am courageous. I will finish.
And that's another thing I never did find out about.
You just be quiet. I'll tell you plenty when.
Actors, drama. Why did I ever leave Wall Street?
But it's Junior. How's business?
I'm gonna wait here till the first act's over. It is almost.
You have some objection.
Not at all. But if you so much as lay a finger on me, the answer's Captain Mulroy, the mountain.
I don't know why people think you're funny.
Princeton, big camp on her entrance. How's she doing?
I didn't wait to see. I couldn't sit there and watch her. She hasn't let me see her for 3 whole days. Have you had anything to do with that?
Me? Why, I haven't done anything except stop the telephone service and lock the door.
Why should she take it out on me? I'm the one who ought to be indignant.
Go ahead. Be indignant. Stamp your sword, foot.
No one's explained to my satisfaction the things that went on here the other night.
Well, it was like this. There we were, trapped in a salt mine. No water anywhere. The rescue squad 40 miles away. Suddenly, I felt my mind going.
Oh, cut it out! I'm about to have a showdown.
Oh, please, it was not my wish. You will tell Miss Mason, yes?
Tell her what?
What's the matter? Did the box office came in?
No, it is terrible. I did not think they would do such a thing.
Who?
The students, and with the guest star, too.
I knew it! I knew something shut that poor kid!
The curtain has fallen. It is over. The first act. Miss Carter.
Indiana!
You explain Miss Mason. You say I'm innocent, yes?
She come off yet?
No, Claire's not after. What is all this?
Those crazy kids, the juvenile stupidity.
What are they doing to Prudence?
They're stealing the show. Enough!
How?
As far as I can figure it out, it's a combination of upstaging, downstaging, and the lateral pass.
I don't understand those words.
About 10 minutes ago, somebody slipped her back cue. It threw her, but she came out of it all right. Then as soon as she got started again, they started cutting into her speeches. And she had all over her lines. Rewriting the show, leaving her out.
That's awful.
Then they started marching. When she comes downstage and forces lines to the audience, they move upstage in the body, forcing her to turn back. Up, counter, then move down, get lumber, lighting her up completely. It's just an all-star benefit. That's not all.
Flanagan, give me some ice water. And a machine gun.
I hope you're satisfied. If it was me, this would have happened.
Oh, shut up and hold it. Mercy, Moses. They hate me. They hate me. Here, baby, sniff some of this. All right. I hate them too. I'll get even. I'll fix them. I'll make sure that none of them ever get to your Broadway. I'll tell Equity. I'll keep them out of Hollywood. I'll write a letter to Sunday Times. Sure, baby. We'll chop them up and scatter the pieces from an airplane. What they did to me. What they did to me.
Well, that's your theater for you, Prudence.
And the light. Every time I got in one, it went off.
It's outrageous.
I wouldn't put up with it.
Come on, honey. You've got 15 minutes for the change.
We don't expect you to go back out there with those neurotics.
You think she can't hold her own? Give her 5 minutes and a fresh start. She'll play right off the stage. You don't know what it's like. All right, I'll hop into a costume myself and go back out there with you. One fell smooth and they'll never know I hit them. Don't be ridiculous.
The time has come to put a stop to this whole business.
Oh, Arthur, you're the only one I can lean on.
I certainly am.
This suit runs it'll be tough on your makeup. And I was so mean to you. What would I ever do without you now?
Darned if I know.
She did her next costume, go back out there and make those kids look sick.
What for? Nobody has to put up with this.
No, I certainly don't.
All those kids have done since she came here is make her unhappy and hysterical. And do dumb things like the other night. Even driving me into it. And now this, you're coming away with me.
No, she did not to go back out there.
What for? Nobody has to put up with this.
Well, you might think she doesn't owe the kids anything, but she owes the audience something. You don't walk out on the show in the middle of her performance.
This isn't a performance, it's a catastrophe.
You're right, Arthur. I couldn't face it. I'm going with you. Honey, listen. Oh, you don't know what it's like. I can't. The show can't go on without you. There's no law in the theater that says it must go on with me under it.
Here's the ice water. I'd rather have left us the commerce building. I had to swipe it off the speaker stand, but I got it.
Save it for Bob. When he hears this, he'll need it.
Here's what.
I'm leaving. They're running out of breath.
This means that we're about Christina.
I'm going back with Arthur.
But you can still have that contract.
Prudence doesn't want Hollywood charity.
There's no such thing. How about this, Mason?
I'm sorry, Mr. Flanagan. I'm so mixed up. I'll just have to quit, that's all.
Miss Carter, the students would like to come in and freshen their makeup. Is it all right?
Tell her doing the next act in blackface.
Besides, those kids are exactly the kind of people who go to Hollywood. How would you like to live in a whole town full of them?
Oh!
Well, I'll get my things.
Here.
Miss Mason's going to be all right, yes?
Thinking Garrett to a self-proof room probably fit well.
What time is the next train out of here?
You are not going. The show lasts for 2 more hours.
Well, I don't think it'll take that long since you've eliminated the principal character.
Eliminated what character? Not Cleopatra.
Mason is leaving the show.
You can turn out all the lights from now on.
It is not gone. Tradition. You told her I had nothing to do with it. For this, you will all get B- in acting.
Shall I sound the treacherous second act now, Mr. Box? The audience is near the truth and cigarettes.
No time. Keep them silent. We can't instruct them, yes? In the second act, we will give it a whole stage. With all the lights on. I will command it.
In a business office, you will have to wait.
It is worse than Hamlet, the Moscow Arts. Tolstoy would know how to face it. I am too weak.
So she's a quitter, too.
You think a really professional actress would know how to handle the situation? Do you think perhaps we went a little too far? I think we ought to be ashamed of ourselves.
It does not help. I cannot think any better. It is the beginning of the decline of the academy. Soon I will have to teach English.
You went too far, Cat, cracking your knuckles during her long speech.
I was nothing compared to the gent. Yes, the way the girl overacted.
You never know what some people will do.
I think we purposely did.
Yes, when we were with the psychological woo.
Mr. Box,
Do not speak. It is over. I will leave the university and direct beauty pageant.
But Mr. Fox, what if they apologize?
We all know, Mr. Fox. You'll try.
Apologize? It is useless. She's cast the die.
But I bet you can talk to Miss Carter. It's pretty distant for her.
I will try. I will be humiliated, but I will try.
Mr. Fox! The audience is starting a second cigarette. Shall I?
No, do nothing.
Mr. Flanagan, I've been trying to locate you through the peephole in the curtain.
Go back and look again. Probably though somewhere.
What I wanted to ask, is my performance all right?
Well, I'd certainly say it was effective.
Why, thank you, Mr. Flanagan. If I go to Hollywood, what would the salary be?
The standard 15 cents an hour and no booze fruit.
I don't understand.
Maybe I forgot to tell you. All Hollywood humans have 10-minute options. Yours is up.
Did somebody knock?
It was me, Miss Mason. You're already dressed?
Miss Mason, what's she doing? Leaving? Claire, are my things nearly ready? Prudence, I told you I could give Mr. Fox a typewriter suitcase. So that's why you changed. She's not only taking Phil away from me, but now she's putting us apart, too. Jerry Flanagan, before I go, there's one thing I want you to do. Disillusion this child. You know perfectly well she's a bad actress. Why you're jealous of me. Shut up! Tell her! Tell her you have no intention whatsoever of taking her to Hollywood, and let her go back to that nice young boy. Tell her!
Why, Miss Mason, whatever can you mean? I'm extremely interested in this very talented young girl.
But you said this is
In fact, I'm seriously considering giving her the part of Christina.
Christina, you're not.
Mr. Flanagan, I shall be free in a very short time. Perhaps I could go
Yes,
walk.
Miss Mason, if I can get you, perhaps a brand new personality. Best thing. She's just about the right height.
But she can't act. I'm sacrificing my heart. Listen, you don't know what'll happen to you. You'll be destroyed. I'll chance it, Miss Mason. No, you don't see what'll happen to you. They'll fake you into one good performance. Maybe if they're very careful in another one after that. But in 2 years, you won't even know yourself.
you weren't leaving, so consoling.
Well, of course, that's true.
Perhaps if you stayed the week, your attraction would wear off.
Now there's a bright child.
They are right, Miss Mason. In a week, many things can happen.
What brings that up if I were you?
What we really knocked on your door for, Miss Mason, was really to apologize.
We went too far, Miss Mason. We were brutal.
You see, Miss Mason, it wasn't anything personal. It was just your ideas we objected to. But now we see there's room for various ideas.
You suffer no matter what. In fact, as a result of your example, I'm eventually going to consider marriage.
I feel that perhaps I shall too.
Everybody will get married. It is a new theory.
Prudence, baby, you've been an inspiration to us all. Did I tell you that Bach and I were going steady?
What?
Mr. Bach! 3 cigarettes! Prudence, do you see what you're doing? You're letting the people out there smoke themselves to death.
Miss Mason, you would reconsider now, yes?
Yes, the most anxious will appear with you on Tuesday night.
They feel a way to round down the company.
Of course! What could I have been thinking of?
You will go on, Miss Mason? The Academy survived! Bring the time! Change the scenery!
I'll tell Janet.
Miss Carter, you weren't serious when you said that you and Mr. Bach were.
Serious? Me? Claire the old lady? Ask your father, son. He knows.
Claire, he paints well, doesn't he?
But it's old-fashioned. I can tell who it is. Come on, you've got to change.
I'd still like to have it.
I know somebody who'd like to have it even more.
Oh, no, Claire, we won't think of that yet.
Okay, we won't. But you don't mind if I send for a Pacific Coast train schedule.
Miss Mason! Please, the audience is stamping their feet. Won't you get changed?
I guess. Wait, goodness, Arthur's here.
Oh, you're dressed, Prudence. That's fine.
Oh, Arthur.
I've got a cab lady. Just give me your things.
Claire, go get my next costume ready.
What did you say to her?
I told her to get my next costume ready, Arthur.
Costume for what?
I'm going to finish the show.
Prudence!
Don't be angry. I know I'm disappointing you, but you see, the kids apologized, and I couldn't have that boy coming with me, and I can't walk out on the show.
Prudence, we're going to have this out. Which is it going to be? The theater or me?
Well, now, Arthur.
Oh, come, Prudence. You know the answer to that as well as I do. You can't have both.
Can't I?
Obviously not. A decent life and all this are incompatible.
I'm not so sure of that. Why can't it be 50-50 and happy in both?
Not at all. I couldn't operate that way in business.
But it's in me. The theater's in me. Can I just tear it out?
Well, I may be a freak or something, but there's not a bit of it in me.
I know. I saw that the other night.
What do you mean?
When you couldn't pretend. You couldn't. Not a bit.
Well, what difference does that make? And I wouldn't bring up the other night if I were you. I have to be very understanding as it is. Now listen to me, Prudence. This is it. If you come with me this minute, or we're through.
All right.
You'll come?
No.
Prudence, you're not letting me go.
Yes.
But why?
Oh, Arthur, we'd never be happy. You haven't got my 50 and I haven't got yours. We'd never make 100.
So, you're giving me up for Hollywood.
I haven't said that.
You don't want a husband. All this talk about 50-50 is just front. What you want is...
Arthur, please, don't make me say any more. I'm not happy doing this to you.
You certainly shouldn't be. You put me through a great deal, Prudence Mason, and if I do say so myself, I've borne up under it very well. But I cannot allow myself to ask you again. If there's to be anything further between us, you'll have to come to me.
Very well, Arthur. Now, goodbye.
And where do you think you're going?
I'm gonna dog your footsteps and get you old Curtis Mason, that's what.
The boldness, the effrontery. Goodbye! And if I ever enter a theater again, it'll be to sell the property, which will please me very much.
So what?
Mason, I'm happy to see you got rid of him. I'm ready whenever you are.
Oh, Claire was awful.
Better than having to live with him.
Oh, just wait out here.
No, she must look her best. This time, everybody has this.
I almost forgot.
What's this I hear about your Bible of the second act?
Yes, Mr. Flanagan, the Academy does not disappoint its customers.
Mr. Flanagan, you can have that contract.
And she's this, Mr. Scott. She's free to go to Hollywood. Miss Mason, is this true?
Why, yes, but there isn't any time now.
Take time.
Any audience will wait for a film star. Eureka!
I'll send you the streets to my place minutes. Will you send me a photograph? I have a collection.
Can I have a photograph of you, Miss Carter?
Prudence, whatever happens to that photo me on the ground. A little useful, but it favors me.
Get away, brother.
Everybody on stage, we will begin.
Give me what's the unit.
Congratulations, Miss Mason. I hope you will not forget to part the Academy has played in this turning point in your career. You will send us a testimonial, yes?
Hello? I'd like to send a telegram, please. Paul Kenyon. That's right, Kenyon. Limited Artist Studios, Hollywood, California. Have signed Prudence Mason. Arrival next Thursday. Meet us at the train, Jerry. Welcome to the Wild